had a rough week after I got the upper control arms and the spindle on. Trying to get to work on the car, like I've kind of had depression the last couple of days. I have pretty rough ADHD, and I'm still trying to kind of figure out at almost 41 years old, like how to best work with it. And it got the best of me the last couple of days, and so I was just completely overwhelmed. Got nothing done, didn't record anything, felt like the world was just kind of crumbling in on me, and so I basically sat in depression for a couple of days. And this happens infrequently. Today I feel great. Went to the gym, had a good workout, like, you know, that kind of stuff, had a good breakfast. It's like, okay, cool, like, world's back to normal. Today, plan on actually tackling the coilovers on the car. We have the Viking adjustable coilovers from Church Boys Racing. The coilovers, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start kind of teaching her a little bit of things as we go along. We went to Winter Nationals this last Friday for like some of the qualifying and sportsman eliminations and stuff like that. Her first time ever going, and what you saw, the short that I put up of her reaction the first time the nitro top fuel went off. But I remember that when I was going for the first time as a kid. And so to see that experience again is a little heartwarming. So I hope you guys follow along with this video. Hopefully it helps some of you guys in your decision making on any projects that you have going on, and that maybe you learned something, maybe I learned something, maybe we all learned something. But here we go. To get started on this coilover set, one thing we have to do is prep these old top spring perches or coil hats, because they're still used, and they're used to actually center the coilover into the strut tower. But you have to get rid of this guy right here, this little tab. And so I'm going to grind these off and clean these up and get these painted before I start pulling apart the new stuff, and we can figure out how this is going to go together.
Hi, my cutie little butt crack.
I mean, pretty straightforward, and just gotta wipe them out, clean them up with apparently my cutie little butt crack.
It's hanging out.
So yeah, so cleaning this up, even it doesn't need to be perfect, because this is gonna have like interference no matter what, because this plate is gonna sit on top of this coil like this, and this goes to the upper part of the car. But then also you have this, which is basically kind of like a shock, right? It's a little more complex than that. It's very pretty, like that's for sure. So you have these, which are adjustable spring plates, and this is just for demonstration purposes. But this smaller end actually goes and sits here, right? And then you have the top plate, which sits on top, and then this will go through the top and bolt it up here. But this will bolt on the bottom down here, and this will be the spring for the car. And then you have adjustability with these knobs for how the shock responds to bumps and stuff. You have compression, so like how it responds to the pressure pushing down on it, and then rebound, so how quickly it wants to push back up. And so you can tune it for different rates with that and stuff. And so you get a lot of options in adjustability But right now, we're just trying to make sure all the parts are nice and in order before getting it started. It's always good to take stock of all the parts that are supposed to come with it as well, because you'll usually have like a list of parts with the instructions, which this doesn't necessarily actually give me that, but that's okay. It might be in another box. But just to make sure you have everything that you need as you get this stuff done. But clean these up, paint these, and then start figuring out what parts we have and how we want to put them together.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
So we've got this guy. We're going to pop in here. It's really tight. Like it barely fits in there, and that's, you know, engineered that way. But it needs to be held in place, right? Like it can't just be loose and slide. So you have these guys, which are called snap rings. They fit into a little groove on the inside here. So you compress it, and then it snaps into place. Hence the name snap ring.
Did it come with that little...
The pliers?
Pliers?
No, I got these pliers myself, in which sometimes snap rings can be a giant pain in the butt. Squeeze them, they get smaller, and you try to get them into where they're supposed to fit. But I think...
Did you put the other one in too far? Like that one's pushed in a lot farther than the other one.
It certainly is. And so, see, what would I do without your observation skills? This project's already going so much better in the 20 minutes that you've been involved.
So good at flattery.
I mean, I won't say it's what got me here, but so cool. So both of them are in place, and then
should we go ahead and assemble the other one at the same time, or no? Just do one at a time.
we totally could. You want to give it a shot?
We have...
So then the fun thing
little
is,
washery things in this guy.
snap rings aren't always oriented the same way.
This guy goes on first.
Yes, that guy goes on first, just like that.
And then this one with this part up.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
How do they tighten into each other?
You spin them opposite directions.
They both seem to be spinning the same direction. Oh, you mean just in general? Like you bring one up higher, one lower?
Yeah, you
Okay.
literally smash them into each other, basically.
Okay. Oh, how do I know how far to go in?
It'll snap into the groove that's in there.
Is that it? Did I do it? Did I do it?
You're looking pretty solid. So you'll know if you're too far or not
When I try to put the next one in?
when you try to put in the next one. But if you are a little too far, Like, that's not a hard adjustment.
Like that?
I think you got it. Let's see. So let's moves. It looks like it's in the groove all the way around on both sides. I think you nailed it, babe.
Cool.
Cool. So now you have the cross shaft, right?
Little pulley thing.
Yes, the pulley thing.
But then you need to readjust these.
Yes, I do need to fix these. So
Oh, very snug.
very snug. Keep your comments to yourself. I saw that face.
So this is basically like a giant Legos.
Yeah, in a sense.
You just follow the directions and do what it says.
Kind of. Like, I didn't even look at the directions for these. I'm not trying to, like, man card it right now and be like, yeah, like...
Yeah.
But realistically...
Oh,
like,
man,
I've
new
done
directions. Instructions? What are those?
the, so these ones are a little tough. You gotta really squeeze it.
I'm a man, I can do it. I'm just being a turd.
There you are. Wiggle it just a little bit.
Well, it's helpful to push on the bottom side of it. Like the counter pressure.
So don't get too crazy or else you're gonna run that thing right into my fingers, okay? Well,
I need you to squeeze.
Your-
I don't have grip strength.
your grip is done?
I was a dancer. We used our legs.
It was a dance.
A dancer.
Alright, there's the first one. I'll do this one. The satisfying snap. Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Look at us.
Okay, now we're at the same spot.
Same spot. So we got the cross shaft in, all the snap rings in place. We want to
I didn't tighten these yet.
adjust the spring perch, which we can do.
Words.
Words. We can adjust the spring perch. This is called a spanner wrench, right? And there's one for the small one and one for the big one. And the small one fits in the specific grooves for this one, like that, right? And then the other one fits in specific grooves on this one.
Okay.
And you gotta get it lined up just right, because it's not completely symmetrical. So that way there is an order of how it gets done, right? So they need to go in opposite directions once I get them on. Okay, so they want to go in opposite directions, and I'm just gonna squeeze them that way and then leave it at that. I'm not getting too crazy with it because, for one, we don't need to right now, but later on, when we actually set them in place, you'll get them set with the spanner wrenches, and you'll actually sometimes use like a little punch to inset against it to be able to get that last little bit of squeeze between the two plates. But that's that for right now.